Hello everyone and welcome to the Hisui podcast. I'm Wolf Tyler and I'm here with Nurse Efi, and we don't have Kane Raid 5 or Atomic Sign Thomas today, but we do have Thundaga.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing today?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule and being with us today, Thundaga.
Yeah.
Of course,
we appreciate
anytime.
it.
I'm honored to be invited. It's cool. Not a lot of people reach out. Funnily enough, they're like, "Hey, like my game's broken. What can I do with this?" But not all the people are like, "Hey, you want to just talk?" I'm like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm down to talk. Let's go."
That's incredibly unfortunate. Like you always seem like such a cool guy. From what I admit, I'm not in your streams that often. That's not a secret, but like from what I've seen of your stuff, you seem like a really fun guy that I would love to interact with more and just chill and hang out with.
Well, hell yeah. I really appreciate it. If you want to talk to me about the game industry at all, just let me know. If you want to talk about fan games, just let me know. You know, if you want to talk about anything, I'm always down.
Good to know. Actually, I have a friend who... No, I'm not going to bring that up right now.
But yeah, if you guys don't know who Thundaga is, which I would honestly be kind of surprised if you don't, he is like the main tutorial guy for Pokemon Essentials, I'd say. He makes a lot of YouTube videos for it, and he's also made a couple Pokemon fan games. He helped with Pokemon Bushido, Pokemon Splice. Those were two big ones. Pokemon Doodle.
Yeah, I've done a lot of stuff throughout the years. Sometimes I go back and look at the game catalog and I'm like, holy crap, I don't remember. Oh yeah, I did do that. Funnily enough, I started doing Pokemon tutorials because I was watching Atomic Reactor tutorials and I was like, oh, like these are really cool. I want to try making. I don't know why, for whatever reason, I made one even after watching his. But then, yeah, then I got some comments that were like, oh, I like this. You should make another. And I was like, okay. And then I just kept on doing that. And I checked my YouTube recently. It sent me like a thing on the creator dashboard. It's like, oh, congrats, you've had your channel now for 9 years. And I was like, what the hell? That's crazy. That's so long.
Oh, dang.
So a lot of Pokemon, 9 years of doing Pokemon stuff. It's been a good time though.
Heck yeah. That's the part that matters the most, is that it's been a good time.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a lot of fun. Some of my favorite stories have been about people who are like, oh, I got into making Pokemon games because I like learned from this tutorial or whatever. And then, oh, I learned that I liked game development, or I learned that I wanted to do code or software development. And then I'm sitting back here like, oh, that's cool. I just made a funny little Pokemon video. But like, if it helped change the trajectory of your life, then like I'm doing something right.
I mean, that definitely, like, happened with me. Not as too big of a degree of, like, that's what I'm going into for a career. But, like, mainly, I would not be sitting here right now, obviously, if without those videos. But, like, even all the friends I have made in EV Expo, like, if you hadn't made even streams about the Relic Castle Game Jam, I never would have met so many of the friends I have today.
Oh, that's awesome. The fan game community is so nice and so welcoming. Every time I like step away from doing like streams for a little bit and come back and everyone's so nice and welcoming, I'm like, oh, you guys, oh, and everybody's so supportive and creative. I love that energy. It's really nice to see.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, speaking of coming back, you recently came back into streaming, making a new project, Pokemon Avarice. What exactly, like, made you come back and make a new game? Because it's been a bit.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So it's twofold, or I guess maybe even threefold. The first thing is that I have a little bit more free time right now. Unfortunately, I lost my job at my game company I was working at previously. They've been kind of going through some hard times and had to let go of a lot of people. So I found myself with some free time. And then, you know, sometimes when you're just walking around or like you just have some time to think about like game ideas, you're like, oh, well, what if I did something that was like a little weird? I started thinking about like, oh, well, what if there was a game? I still need to fully explore all these themes in the game now. Like, I've only done a few streams of working on it, but I want to do something that's really weird and also kind of like captures how I'm kind of feeling about the world right now, where like, you know, maybe there's some people who are exploiting other people or lying to other people and like the themes of it all. So hopefully that all comes forward. But yeah, like just having more free time to work on stuff again and wanting to start something new and different instead of like going back and like working on older projects, because yeah, I want to go really weird with it. I want to make one of the weirdest fan games. That's going to be my goal at the end of the day.
I mean, you're gonna have some stiff competition, because I played some weird ones. I played some weird fan games.
Hell yeah, that's the beauty of
Covered
them.
some weird fan games.
Yeah, what are some of the weirdest ones you guys have played, you think?
Misty Orange. No question.
I don't know if I've heard of that one.
Not Pokemon Misty Orange. I don't know if I feel comfortable telling you some of the stuff that's on.
I'm already Googling it. Oh. That reminds me of I played one that was like a dating sim, but it was one of like the Pog Jam ones or like something for like the Relic Castle ones.
Oh, is it Super Kawaii Dating Sim?
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking of?
That-
Yeah, by
there we
Crimson
go.
Tie.
All right, I'm gonna open this one. No, okay, wait, no, maybe I'm closing this. Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite weird game has been Wet Moat.
Wet Moat. I need to look this up now too. Is it Pokemon Wet Moat?
I think it's Pokemon Wet Moat. I don't know how easy it is to find anymore though, because it was made by it was made by like Amethyst and a bunch of other people in her group as an April Fool's joke.
Nice. That's how the best games start.
I think it was like 2017, 2018, something.
Yeah, well, you were actually right on the money. I Googled it and found a forum post about it. April 1st, 2017.
Oh, heck yeah.
Let's go.
That moat was so wet.
Okay, so well, I got 2 games to look into now.
Yeah, I don't know if the Misty Orange... Well, the Misty Orange game, it's not too not family-friendly. But it may be not family-friendly enough for, like, streaming.
I was about to say, I would not stream it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially, like, there's one scene involving a milk tank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Say no more. I think one of the weirdest Pokemon fan games I ever played, in a weird way, it inspired me also, but Pokemon Whack. Like, the story of that one is so insane, and all the Pokemon that they made in that game are so insane, but they also, like, hand-drew everything, and it's kind of, like, horribly compressed MS Paint images. But in a way, I found it kind of, like, captivating and charming that it all had, like, an art style that it adhered to. So now in some of the other things I've worked on, I'm like, oh, well, I'm doing hand-drawn stuff. I'm kind of like Pokemon Whack, but minus all the insane shit that they put in their game. But I remember playing that one and just being like, this game is whack. In a good way. Or in a bad way.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a little bit of both in that game. It's insane.
Yeah, I remember seeing Hoodlum Callum play some of it and thinking, this isn't really my cup of tea, is it? No. Nope. Well...
It's a slog.
Okay.
It's a hard one to get through. You gotta really force yourself through it. Like, if I wasn't recording myself playing through it and, like, going insane with each subsequent, like, episode, then I probably would have stopped pretty early on, but there was almost like a humor in the insanity.
Oh, I'm sure. Especially, didn't it? I'm looking it up. I see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna be here for a minute. Oh my god.
Yeah, they kept doing updates for it too. I fell off. I didn't do the post game, but I didn't feel the need to.
Yeah, that's better.
Oh yeah. Have you guys been playing any other fan games recently? Is there anything that you would recommend? Because I'm in a fan game mood.
Actually, I guess, Ethy, should I recommend one of the infamous ones on the podcast? Not infamous. We just mention it every time.
Ooh.
I mean, you should. You have to.
I have to? Okay.
We're
sure.
almost legally obligated to it.
At this point, true. I mean, I guess between two. I'll recommend this one. It's, the game I made last Summer Jam, Pokemon Berserk, which got a community spotlight? Yeah, community spotlight. I couldn't remember if it was community or judge.
Oh, that's cool. Gen 2 art style? Okay, hell yeah. I'm already into that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't want to say, like, too much, because I feel like if you know too much about the game, it kind of ruins a little bit of the experience for it. But people really like it, I really like it. There's, like, little things I would change about it now, but, I mean, it was a jam game. I made it in 6 weeks.
That's pretty impressive. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm adding that to the list then, too. Hell yeah. It's always cool seeing, like, stuff come together really quick for the jams. That's one of my favorite things. Like, what can everybody cook up in, like, a quick amount of time?
Oh,
yeah.
definitely. But like,
I'm always like blown away.
speaking with like playing games lately, like I know you haven't been able to play many fan games lately, mainly because you've been busy up till now. But like, has there
Yeah.
been any recent fan games you've played that like stayed out to you in like the current age of fan games, I guess?
Let's see. That is a good question. There haven't been too many that I've played, unfortunately. I've seen like a couple posts here and there about people like promoting this or sharing that. I looked up. So the other day I was asking people like, oh, what would be a great game to look into? And there was one from, it was called like Realidia System, I think.
Oh yeah.
And I ended up looking
Yeah.
that up, and I'm like, oh, this looks good, but I still haven't played that yet either. I'm still working my way through the Slowpoke Shack from Kenny and Endless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Slowpoke
you were
Shack.
streaming that earlier today. I wish I could have joined.
It's a good game. It's a good
Yeah,
game.
I was
Such a
asleep.
good game.
Oh, no worries. But yeah, I kind of want to get back into seeing some of the new ones right now. Somebody actually asked me, they're like, hey, like, what are some of the big fan games that you've played that you'd recommend? And I was like, I don't even know what the big ones are now. I'm like pretty disconnected. I feel like a boomer coming in here. I'm like, what's a Pokemon, huh? Back in my day, we only had 150.
Probably the biggest. I mean, it's not a fan game. It's technically a ROM hack, but the biggest one at the moment is Mariomon.
Okay, yeah. I've seen some of that and heard from that. Was that from Alpharad?
That was by Alpha
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. The art looks fantastic in it. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, they've done an amazing job.
Holy crap.
And I guess
Oh,
while
okay.
we're on the topic of like current fan games, I feel a little obligated to mention, because I'm a part of the team now, Pokemon Starfall. It's still in early development.
Okay,
But like
that's a good name.
recently a sneak peek came out for it, and by recently I mean literally yesterday.
Oh, hell yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's just 20 seconds, but people have liked the sneak peek so far, which...
Nice. Light and sound types. Okay.
Wait, is there a light and sound types?
At least, maybe I'm looking at the wrong post. Starfall
Maybe.
version? Maybe this is for. Oh no, that's from 2020. Take it back.
Yeah. Different one. Here, I can link
Okay.
you the sneak peek.
Yeah, please do. That's cool.
there you go.
There's so many fan games to keep track of. It's really exciting.
Too many.
Like there's almost too many games, and then like that's just the fan games. Like when it comes to other stuff going on too, it's hard to keep track of it all. I guess it's a good problem to have. There's too many good games to play.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, currently I'm looking forward to the Insert Name Jam is going on. I don't know if you know what the Insert Name Jam is.
A little bit. That's just another game jam that's going on, almost like in place of a Relic Castle jam, right? To kind of like scratch the same itch. Okay.
Yeah, I started it last year because they canceled the Winter Jam last year. So we took their place. This year, because of website issues, they weren't able to have it, so we had a Spring Jam. And the deadline is like this next week at the time this episode comes out. So there'll
Shoot.
be. So I'm looking forward to like some of those games playing them.
Yeah, that's cool. That'll be a fun one to like play all the submissions. Like, are you participating in the jam as well?
Yes, unfortunately, I shouldn't have been. I'm too like busy at the moment, but yes, I am.
Well, hopefully your
We were
project goes
constantly
well.
telling him. Constantly telling Wolf, you've got to put something down. You're gonna end up burning yourself out.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
learn
I
my
used to
lesson one of
do
these
that.
days.
I used to do every single Relic Castle jam, or not, maybe not every single one, but a lot of them, and then I felt super burnt out and was like, okay, I'm gonna not do jams for a little while. That's part of the reason I'm like, I don't know when the jams are going on now. I'm like, I'm doing my own stuff, and then I'll come back and check in and see what you guys submitted.
Yeah. Oh god. I've done every single like Relic Castle / Insert Name Jam / Pog Jam since summer of 2020.
Whew. Oh man, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's impressive, but
It is
I-
impressive, but I think I'm
Yeah, I
like
feel
the
like
only one
secondhand
who
burnt
has
out.
that long of a streak. Because even
That's
Kenny
good.
didn't start until after me, and also hasn't kept that streak because he hasn't done either of the Insert Name Jams.
You gotta like keep it going now. Unfortunately, like you're on a roll, so now
I
you gotta
am.
keep going.
Yeah.
Make the jam. Hell yeah. Like
And then I just don't dev, so
That's the best. That's just enjoy
yeah.
all the stuff that people submit, like just chilling.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I feel like once I started developing, I became like more critical towards other projects, just because I became more, like, I grew more of a personal preference, I guess, on how things should be once I like started making it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Like you kind of have an eye for what you like or what you would do in that situation.
Exactly.
Like, is there anything in particular, like when you're playing a fan game and you're like, oh, I wish that they did it a little differently? Like anything that comes out to you immediately? Like
Overworld Shadows.
yeah.
That's the biggest one.
Okay.
Especially like one that's really, really common, even if you include Overworld Shadows, a lot of times in Gen 4, they have it that it's asymmetrical.
Interesting.
Like, there are more shadow pixels on the right than the left, because the plugin, like, when you base put it in, the shadow is made for a Gen 3 sprite. Because of base essentials, but like Gen 4 sprites, it doesn't fit under that the same way, and so there are more sprites on the right than the left. But not many people do anything about that, unfortunately.
Yeah. They're probably just like, it's good enough. There's a shadow generally there.
Yeah. I'm just like, guys, you literally just like edit the sprite a little bit and then you're good.
Yeah. The one thing for me that always gets me whenever I'm playing a game, I'll like run along the borders of the map and I'll see like when I can see out of the map when there's like the black void with the map connections. I'm like,
I do that.
I'm like, put a tree there. Fill that space in.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. And I need like a speed up switch now. I'm so like I Pokemon battles by their default now are a little too slow. I have to speed up through stuff. I'm too like ADD about it. I'm like, come on, let's just go to the next map, next battle.
No, that's why I'm looking forward to an Insert Name Jam entry that's been like really caught my eye as it's being developed. You actually know the person who developed it is developing it because they were part of the Pug Jam. Like he did the most recent Pug Jam. Recreate, he did, what was it, Phantom Slayer, I think was the name?
Yeah, in particular, that one sticks out to me because he did like a remix of the song at the end, and it was a really good remix. Like, and it's the one where I'm singing and I sound really dumb in it.
Oh yeah, he also helped me with Berserk, I forgot to mention that.
Oh, hell
Along
yeah.
with Vendali and King Waluigi.
Nice. Bunch of homies.
pretty-
That's another cool thing about like the Pokemon fan game community. Like you could work with somebody and then they'll work with somebody and then you'll work with like you're always crossing paths.
It's really easy to build connections.
Hell yeah. And then like some games you can almost like tell like who created it. They've got their creator's voice. Like, okay, this kind of feels like a Voltzion game right now. Ooh, this kind of got like Kenny Ketch's DNA in it.
Definitely. But with like the Pokemon battle feeling too like slow, like Recreak is developing an action battle Pokemon game.
Really?
Yeah, for a
How does that
jam,
work?
which is ambitious. I've played the demo because part of the Insert Name Jam is like partway through the jam, you can submit the games to the judges for them to like play through and give feedback so that you can improve it like partway through the jam.
That's cool. Like a nice like check-in, get a little feedback.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
But basically how it works, without like spoiling too much because I don't know how much they want to be revealed, but so I'll just talk about what's generally like public information, is like each each Pokemon still has 4 moves, and it's basically the same as like the Pokemon battle system in that way.
Okay.
When you send out your Pokemon, you only have 1 Pokemon, but you run around. Each move is mapped to like the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you just like do those. Quick Attack makes you like attacks the enemy Pokemon and puts you like right next to the enemy Pokemon. There's Tackle, which has like a 2-tile range or stuff like that. And there's just stuff like that for like for a lot of Pokemon moves at this point. And I think there's gonna be more once the game is like actually out, when the jam is over.
Okay. That's really cool. It kind of reminds me of Pivot in a little way, but instead be like 1v1, like duels, or maybe what they're doing for the new like Pokemon ZA. That's really exciting, especially for a jam. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried doing something similar, and you actually played that game. It was Hito: A Broken Story. When did that come out?
Yeah.
2023? Yeah.
I remember that, like doing the boss battles and dodging stuff.
No, and apparently Hito was an inspiration for this upcoming Recreate game. And
That's
mainly
really cool
I can
too.
see that with the boss battles. Like, the boss battles feel very inspired.
Nice.
So if
That's
you like
really
the boss
cool,
battles
too.
for Hito, then you'll definitely like these boss battles. If you ever play it, of course.
Gotta play this game now. Add it to the list. I gotta be writing everything down.
Don't worry, I can give you a notepad file at the end of this call and
Yes,
just be like, so
please.
these
Oh my god.
these are all the Faye games we mentioned. Play them all.
Yeah, we gotta have link to every single one in the video description, please. Downloads. It is cool, like tracing the like inspirations for all the games too. Though I saw one that was posted. It was called Pokemon K Show, and in special thanks, it was like special thanks Thundaga for the tutorials, and also like I really like Pokemon Bushido, and that inspired me to make this game. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I was inspired by this, and then they were inspired by that, and like you just follow the chain.
Yeah, like there was one time I played a game. I felt like it was before I became big in the community, and that's why it especially meant a lot to me. But there was a special thanks to me in the like credits, and I was like, why? I haven't made like anything good.
Like, what did I do? I'm just chilling. It's like, oh, but everyone's so like good at like showing their appreciation, and that's another thing that's like really special about the fan game community. There's a lot of give and take, a lot of sharing.
Definitely.
Hell
Like
yeah.
it's always like cool to see stuff you've made that then gets like somehow brought into like other projects people make.
Yeah. Have you ever like just been scrolling through comments on like somebody doing a let's play of your game and just being like, oh, this is crazy, this is surreal? Like, has that ever happened?
Somewhat. I think that was a lot more early on, but at this point, like there have been so many let's plays of my games, I'm a little bit more nullified to it than I used to be.
I remember, I guess it's somewhat similar here. When I first released Pokemon Paradox back in the day, like somebody did a playthrough of that, and I was like, what? This is crazy. Somebody can play my game and record it? No way. And then they'll run into a bug, and you're like, ah, crap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was... I had a very interesting first playthrough experience, because the first fan game I made was terrible. I don't say this, like, disparagingly. I mean, you just could not, like, get to the end of the game without abusing bugs.
Well, I mean, everyone's first fan game is, for the most
Exactly.
part, like a learning experience, and the next one will be better.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. And that's why I don't feel too bad about it, especially I've made over 10 games since then. I have basically forgotten about it.
Hell
But,
yeah,
like-
let's go.
And also, like, it didn't, like, hurt me at all. I remember, even though, like, everyone was kind of hating on it or, like, having a terrible time playing it, I was just sitting there going, whoa, people are playing my game!
Yeah, it's exciting at all to see that. Be like, oh, I remember I put that event there, and now they're talking to it,
Yeah, and they're commenting about it.
and they're saying it sucks. No.
Yeah, I do miss that feeling a little bit, because I don't get that as much. Nowadays, it's more like, oh, yep, they're playing my game. Cool, kind of expected that.
Compiling like
Especially-
some feedback here and there.
Especially because I'm now friends with, like, people who play through Pokemon fan games with, like, Tomix, Ethy, and Cade.
Let's go. That's cool.
So,
That's
I
another
mean, they're
community.
basically required to play through my games.
They're the playtesters now.
Basically.
They'll find all the bugs. You got to put them in the credits.
I
Special
was going
thanks.
to say like I'm not like there. I'm not legally required, but it's
No.
more of like a if I don't play a Wolf Taiko game,
It's in the contract.
well, if I'm suddenly missing for more than 3 episodes, somebody come check on me.
I see. You sick the wolf on you.
Literally.
That's funny.
Very good
Yeah.
at finding locations. No, but I remember the most recent experience, I guess, of that, because, I mean, you were definitely a figure that I looked up to in the community for a long time, even so, still now.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
like, the first fan game you played of mine was for the second Pog Jam, Pokemon Split.
That one was really good.
Yeah.
I remember that one. Yeah, and the second Pog Jam, we only did it for a week, if I recall, right? Like the first one was like in like a couple hours, like 3 hours, and then Pog Jam 2 and Pog Jam 3 were each like a week.
Yeah,
And
no.
some of the stuff people cooked up in 1 week was already like really incredible.
No, it was crazy, that Pog Jam. It was not the most crazy week of my life. I've had way crazier, but, like, I had a show in like a different state during that week that the Pog Jam was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we literally drove there, and then like during the day I would go to rehearsals and learn the choreography and stuff. And then at night I would get home and work on the Pog Jam project. And I literally brought my whole computer to the hotel room so that I could work on it.
Dang. That's dedication. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I would not let that streak be broken, man, I'm telling you.
That's good. That's good. Got to keep it going now. Like, do you know like how many games in total that streak is? Is that like 10 games in a row now?
I think over 10. We got summer 2020, winter 2021, summer 2021, winter 2022, summer 2022, winter 2023, summer 2023, winter 2024, summer 2024, winter 2025, summer 2025. I'm gonna be honest, I've already lost count.
I wasn't counting either.
Wait, okay,
like,
so
that's a
there's
lot of games.
2 per year. It's 2025 now, so that's already 10. Add another 2, that's 12. And the Pog
12.
Jams, that's 14. I think it's around
Holy
14.
crap. You should like compile like a website, like go to your website of all the games, like wolftyco.com. Like here's this game
True.
and download that. Cause that could be like a good like resume thing eventually too. Be like, hey, I'm a game dev. I've made 14 games. You can download and play them all right now.
Mm.
I think
I
that'd be
guess-
cool.
Speaking of, like, it just came to mind, like, what's something that, like, you really look for in a Pokemon fan game, I guess?
Ooh, good question. I want to see something new. Whether that's new Pokemon or a new region or at least telling a new story. One thing that I kind of dislike is if it's something, I don't know, expected or retreading. Like, if you're going to set a game in Kanto, at least tell a new story. If you're going to... I like exploring and finding new things. So, like, if there's surprises around the bend, like something keeping it fresh the whole time, those are some of my favorite things for Pokemon fan games.
Definitely.
I want to
Like-
see new stuff.
For me, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
that's-
similar. Like, I really look for, like, a very unique, like, some concept around it. I mean, look at Hito, like, there was the battle system, the game before that, Pokemon Broken, like, the generational style graphics, like, changed depending on, like, the time period you were in, because the game had to do with time travel.
Hell yeah. See, that's cool.
Yeah. What other games have I made? I'm blanking. There's too many. I guess a Split may be one of the most unoriginal. But I don't say that in
it
a
was still
bad
pretty
way.
cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Just making something at all is like already pretty original. Like if you're telling an original story, like you know, if you've got a story to tell, like that's already like really nice to see. The worst would be like if you're going through a world and there's no story to tell and there's not a lot of new things around the corner.
No,
Like-
yeah.
Yeah. Mix it up. Keep me on my toes. That's my favorite
Yeah,
stuff.
that's why I clown on some games where it's like, this is just Kanto again, but everything's just like 3 tiles to the left. This is not anything new to me. I like, thanks for giving me Kanto. Like, that's some of from my earlier experience with oh no, what's it called? Infinite Fusion. That's why I used to have such a... I mean, I still have kind of a negative feeling towards Infinite Fusion, because it's still just not my cup of tea. But that's what a lot of, especially its earlier versions, kind of felt like, is it's just Kanto, but now you're fighting a hybrid of Kangaskhan Tauros, Kangastos or something. Like that's not interesting to me.
Yeah, like if it's the same region, it better at least have a different story. Otherwise, like, what would be the point? Like, I don't know. I would rather just play something else that has something more unique going on. I mean, the Infinite Fusion stuff is kind of cool, but imagine if that was also like in a new region, then we're going crazy.
Definitely. Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even like I'm pretty sure there is an original story now.
Oh, cool. Okay, so that's good at least.
I have been told that they're like they have made some changes to the story since back when it first released a million years ago.
Yeah.
So I will say, okay, I'm wrong on that part. I'll take that L. I'll admit to it. Still not the biggest fan of Fusion, so you still got some marks against you, but that one's just personal preference at that point.
You just gotta find the perfect fusion Pokemon, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, maybe I could actually. This is kind of cool.
Maybe.
Yeah. For me, on the talk about that. Have you seen like the YouTube shorts that are basically just like seeing people make random fusions and showing them off?
No,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't like them because I mean, it just feels very lazy, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of short form content unfortunately can feel like repackaging existing stuff and or just like regurgitating stuff. I actually have a funny story. I don't know if I should tell it. I don't want to I'm not going to name any names, but a short form content creator did reach out to me a while back about collaborating on a video game or on a Pokemon game project. And they let me know, they're like, I got a lot of followers on these socials. I'm coming up with new Pokemon designs, and the people want this game. They were stressing. They were like, the fan base is excited. And at the time, I was like, I hadn't streamed in a while, hadn't done anything in a while, and I was like, oh sure. And he was like, I will hire you. You will help me make this game. And I was like, all right, on. And then we agreed on a time to meet up and talk about the game, and I was like, all right, send me your game design doc and I'll provide feedback. And then the agreed upon time comes, and then I reached out to them, and they never got on call. And then I was like, okay, well we'll talk again some other time. And then the same thing happens, and I was like, actually, you know what, dude, I'm not feeling it. I wish you the best, and I still do wish them the best. But I was like, maybe collaborating with you isn't for me. Best of luck to you. And they was like, I'm sorry it didn't work out, but do you know anybody else? And I was like, just go to EV Expo. So
yeah,
I think it's very interesting, the pipeline where I almost want to attempt an inverse version of that, where it comes from like having experience making the games, but then I want to puke out some short form content to try to get the TikTok clicks. But it's funny having them come the opposite way, where it's like, I've never made a game before, but I've created some Pokemon designs and put videos out, and people got likes on that. Like, could we then turn that into a reality? And I was like, no. I mean, potentially, yeah. Wishing them the best, though. Their game will come out one of these days eventually, but I won't name any names, but that's a funny story I don't think I've ever told.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be rooting for them no matter what, because anyone that's wanting to get into it, I wish them the best.
Yeah,
even if nothing comes out of it, hey, you still learned a new skill. That's something to be proud of.
Okay.
Exactly. Like
Getting that many views on a TikTok like that, still something to be proud of.
Hell yeah. It goes to show that the Pokemon, people are ready to consume the Pokemon content. People are
definitely
hungry for this. They want to see new creatures. They want to see a new region. Have you guys ever talked to anybody who had an idea for a fan game, and then you kind of had to talk them down almost? Because I feel like that's happened to me a lot, where people are like, I'm gonna make a fan game with 10,000 Pokemon in 5 regions. Have you ever had to have that talk with somebody where you're like, actually, no, don't do that?
I mean, yes, but also just more specifically, even in teams, sometimes I'll go, especially in jam projects, I'm like, this just isn't feasible. Let's rein this down a bit.
Cut it. Cut that feature. It's unfortunate how much that has to happen, not only in fan games and not only in jam projects. It also happens on in the game industry on some of these projects, where a feature will be mostly done, or you're feeling pretty confident in it, and then you're like, oh well, actually the extra, that last 10%, we can't afford to do that, so we gotta cut the whole thing. So that sucks, but I mean, doing game jam stuff can prepare you for that too. You're like, hey, I'm used to cutting content. Let's go. I cut content for days.
There you go.
Yeah, it's funny though. I've got no shortage of like comments where people are like, I'm gonna make my game now and it's gonna have 6 regions, and I'm like, well, when your game releases in 2050, then I'll play it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's just like so many examples I feel at this point of like those big ambitious projects. Not even like that ambitious, but still like big ambitious, just never coming to fruition. And I'm just like, when are they gonna learn?
Yeah, it's hard. And I mean, I've even done it myself where like I want to make Pokemon Tidal and it's going to be this whole big ocean thing, and I'm like, actually no, I'm moving on. I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
Like
Valid.
coming up with the idea is the easy part, but like bringing it into reality is the hard part. And I think that's what I appreciate about a lot of game jam projects in particular, because like the idea is smaller in scope, so it's more feasible to bring it into reality. So you actually
Sometimes.
have to work with the content. Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
I'm mainly saying that because I was helped make, what was it, an open world 8 gym Pokemon game with an original story.
Let's go. For a
I
game
don't
jam?
know. I don't know how we made that in 6 weeks. I still don't.
That's
But
crazy.
y'all actually succeeded.
Yeah, people
Somehow.
liked it.
Hell yeah. Which game was that?
And then you haven't stopped talking about it.
No, I haven't. Pokemon Abstract. You almost played it once. You brought it up on your stream at some point, and then you were like, "I may play this at some point."
Yeah, this one was on my radar. I 100%. I think I've already downloaded it. Shoot. Okay. Hell yeah. Yeah, this one looked good. For a game jam to do like open world. Let's go.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I even made like a whole YouTube video about like the experience like making it,
Yeah.
because it was a ride.
You gotta make like a YouTube Shorts or or I almost called it a Thundaga, a TikTok. Where you're like, what's up, guys? Thuntaka. Like, what's up, guys? I made a game jam game. It's almost like the Mr. Beastified video.
Oh God.
Where you're
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I can't bring myself to ever make any videos like that, even
Oh,
though I know
neither
that they
can I.
do well. But it just feels like so soul draining. You're like, I made a game and it's eight gyms. I don't know. I'm just like,
Yeah. I feel like for me, I naturally kind of have some energy when talking about things, especially when it comes to fan games. So I don't think it would be that much of a problem. I'm just like trying to lean more into my natural energy than like, what's up? Hello, today I made a
Yeah.
Pokemon fan game.
exactly,
Like,
the
no.
YouTuber voice for it.
Dude, I hate
Gotta
the
have
fucking YouTuber voice.
for it.
I especially like I made a whole YouTube video mocking that, and I did the most exaggerating YouTuber voice ever. I was like, "What's up today?"
Just draw on it like, what's up, everybody? Oh,
Such a
geez.
stupid video, but sadly realistic.
Hey, stupid
I can't
videos are
say
some of the
much 'cause
best
I do it
videos.
sometimes.
I love making stupid videos. Like,
Oh,
it's one of the funnest things. Like doing April Fools and being like, "Yep, I'm going actually like batshit insane for a day," and making like a really dumb video, and then we'll be back to your regularly scheduled content after that.
Yeah, we had an
Dang,
April.
what's it like to only go batshit insane for only a day and not be your constant?
Yeah, honestly, like maybe it'd be more fun and more freeing if like April Fools was the day where you are sane, and then the rest is absolutely insane content.
Oh,
Flip the switch. Yeah, next time I'll do that.
There we go.
yeah, we had
Now
an
everyone's
idea.
expecting it.
Yeah, we had an idea for an April Fool's video. The episode still came out, it just didn't come out on April 1st. Came out April 4th?
Hey, that's still the
Close
same
enough. Yeah? Well, like, we were gonna release it April 1st. Basically, it was the podcast episode, but, like, all the members of the podcast were replaced with different people.
week. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Like, welcome to your regularly scheduled content, and it's just everybody's different.
exactly.
No, Cade was visually there.
It was just a still picture of him.
Nice. Just chilling.
Exactly. But no, we tried to get it like ready and like planned, but we couldn't record it until April 1st.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
we were not
sometimes it
gonna have
sneaks
that
up on
quick
ya.
of a turnaround.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes. Like, I want to do something goofy for April 1st every year, but then sometimes I'm like, oh shoot, it's already the end of March. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Gotta come up with something really quick. I don't know what to do. Quick turnaround.
No, we had a couple of different ideas for like the April like Fool's video. And I think we can say them just because I don't think they're feasibly possible in general, so I don't think we're gonna do them in future years. Because there's a reason we didn't do them. One idea was like we all did the podcast, but we acted as each other.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
So we all pretended to be each other. The only problem is the podcast episodes are like an hour and a half. So just trying to act like each other for an hour and a half just sounds a little hard.
Yeah, that's a long time to roleplay.
Yeah. Especially like not breaking at all. Or else, well, gotta record again.
Oh no, yeah. You could just be like, alright, cut and resume.
See, that's the best part about being a VTuber is that I'm kind of always a character anyway.
Mm.
And then if I break, it's just like, oh, that's just Ethy being weird.
That's smart. That way you don't have to worry about that. Hell yeah. That's the way to do it.
Would have been really weird if I had turned on my like actual camera and recorded with my face.
No, that wouldn't have been too bad. Although, wait, what for April Fool's though? Be like, oh, I'm the new guy
Yeah,
replacing him.
for the April Fools. Yeah.
Be like, yeah, I'm just using AI voice changing to sound like him.
Yeah.
God.
That's fun. That's fun. Let's see. What other fan games are like coming up that are like on your guys' radar? I'm still like out of the loop for like any other things that people are working on.
That's a good question. And now we're getting interrogated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is just a mutual interrogation session.
Yes.
That's the beauty of it.
Um,
I have been following. There's a Twitter account called PokeFanGame News
Ooh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
on Twitter, and they just retweet a whole bunch of fan game news, and it's made my life like just a little bit easier, so I can keep up with games that aren't like these people aren't posting their stuff on EV Expo. They're just like, hey, we're on Twitter. Here's the media fire. Go.
Nice. I like that.
It's like,
Something to kind
oh.
of like pull it all together, the aggregate.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
look. Is there
So
anything?
I'm here for it.
And
I will link it in the thing so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
oh, I think I know the account you're talking about. It's the one that's run by Haunted Ditto, right?
I have no idea who runs it. I know Haunted Ditto follows it.
Yeah, Haunted Ditto
And
runs
so
that.
does... Okay.
That's cool.
I see Haunted Ditto, Kenny, Purple Zaffrey, Cade, and Hoodlum Callum follow it. And who
I should
are
follow it.
you?
I follow it on Blue Sky. I don't spend much time on Twitter anymore.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. I don't spend any time on like any
Yeah.
social medias, and the end result is that like I'm like, what's the new game? What's the hip one all the kids are playing? But otherwise, I like
Oh.
would scroll. I would scroll for hours.
There is one that's in development. I don't know if it's ever gonna get finished. A demo is coming out at least, which is more than I thought it would. What's the project called? It's... oh fuck, what's the name? I think it's Pokemon something Emerald.
Oh, was it? I know that there was Emerald Sea Glass, but
Not Emerald Sea Glass. Pokemon Gamma Emerald. There we go.
interesting.
And specifically, it's like this... oh, what's the game? It's
This looks
very
crazy.
inspired by,
Oh, Octopath maybe?
yes, Octopath,
Ooh.
thank you.
Yeah, like the HD 2D.
Yes,
Oh shoot, that's beautiful. They should have made like official Pokemon games look like this.
Oh! Wait, Ethan, you're the only one who's gonna know about this, but the person who's doing Gamma Emerald was also a 3D lead for Project Eden's Garden. If you remember
Oh.
that.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually really cool, that connection.
Oh, wow.
I didn't
Pokemon
even notice
Eden's
that.
Garden. Oh, this is made in Unreal Engine. That's cool.
Yeah, Project Eden's Garden's another fan game project that was my favorite. I think I listed it as my favorite general video game of last year.
Whoa.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a visual novel. It's technically a fan game of Danganronpa, but you don't need to play Danganronpa to enjoy it. And in my opinion, I don't like saying it's better than the original because I feel like that just comes off as a very haughty attitude almost.
Okay.
If you get what
But
I mean.
it's-
But
yeah, but that's still really cool that they put that all together, and it looks like it's a pretty good project.
Oh, definitely.
Hell yeah. Outside of Pokemon, what are some of the other games that you guys enjoy playing?
When I can, Final Fantasy 14.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah, you're a big Final
most
Fantasy
of the
14
time-
guy.
Yeah. Which, hilariously enough, the one class that could use Thundaga doesn't get it.
Oh,
They call it like Thunder 2, Thunder 3.
dang it. So close. They just went
Yeah,
straight to like
that's-
Thundaga. I was so close to calling my YouTube channel Curaga. It was so close. But then
Dude,
it's
that
that
w-
Thunder.
Alternate reality right there.
Yeah, that'd be
Yep.
so weird.
I cannot imagine you being called Kiraga. Just feels wrong.
Yeah, feels wronga. Let's see, what else? I haven't been playing too many other like games that aren't Pokemon games. I was playing a little bit of Diablo for like an interview that I was looking into for like work stuff, but otherwise, one game that I actually got super obsessed with and played for a little bit and was like, I'm not going to stream this because like people are going to hate it because it's like watching paint dry is a Power Wash Simulator. I
Yeah.
100%
Power-
did that.
Oh, I haven't gotten there yet. But I'm somewhere close. Like, I finally sat down and started doing a bunch of the achievements.
Hell yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know if I'm powerful enough for this.
It takes so much time. I'd put on like
But
a
I have-
podcast or something on the side and then just like clean everything.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 143 hours in Power Wash Sim.
Let's go.
I don't have much room to talk.
No, it's
a big
really
game.
funny that like I started a podcast because honestly I don't really watch many podcasts.
Yeah,
Like I'm
I
not
mean,
very much a podcast guy, but I'm also the same with like everything. Like I love making games, but I don't play many games. I love watching. No, I guess watching media is the only thing that I also like consuming and making.
No,
But-
that kind of makes sense. I think I'm in a similar boat where, like,
Mm-hmm.
rather than consuming other people doing it, you'd rather do it yourself. So, like, you're spending
Yeah.
all your time and energy toward, like, the actual creative pursuit. And there's something endearing about that. Something, like, it's more fun, like, posting something. But,
Definitely.
yeah, I don't even know where I'm going with that.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, what other games have I been playing? I played this weird game called Nubby's Number Factory, and that's kind of fun. It's very, very weird, but it's one of those like roguelike type games, but the whole point is it's kind of like Plinko and you're bouncing down the board, but then also you're getting power-ups to make so you get higher and higher numbers as you go down. And if you fail, the sun explodes.
What?
Oh. No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah, it's chill. This factory is very chill.
Sounds so chill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm looking it up on Steam. This looks interesting.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's a very weird one.
It's definitely giving it's giving like 90s early 2000 vibes, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, like the weird aesthetic of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that vibe, unfortunately.
I guess not. Yeah, how
we
how
get
young?
it. We're old.
Yeah. All right. How old is everybody here? I'm 31, almost 32, and I feel like old as shit.
I am 29. I turn 30 in 30 something days.
Nice.
Yeah, I am
38 days.
I am famously, I feel, a youngin in the community. I am 17 turning 18 on July 7th.
Dang, let's go. You've almost got more Pokemon fan games made than age. That's really impressive.
That is impressive.
I hadn't thought about it like that. I don't know if I would think about it like that.
Yeah. I remember when I worked on a Pokemon Bushido with Lux Diablo, he was like super young also.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird because like you're like a better writer than I am and you're like half my age and I'm really jealous and I wish I was like, you're like, this is awesome. Like you got a good future ahead of you, a game dev and or just like being talented in general. And I feel that way about like a lot of the youngins growing up in the fan game community. And I kind of wish that when I was younger, I was doing that too. I wasn't. I was like playing video games, like playing Gears of War and stuff. And I only like got into the fan games like relatively late, I guess. But it's really awesome seeing that. Everybody's shooting past me. Everybody's like so talented. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, I'm very glad too that I got into fan games just because I feel like I've definitely been able to improve in my writing skills that I wouldn't have been able to otherwise without like doing this.
Definitely.
It's like an incubation chamber for talent.
Like I look back at like previous stuff I've written and even like stuff as soon as like 2 years ago, which I guess isn't that like soon, but like I've been making games. This is my 6th year making games. It's soon in relation to that. But like I look back at the game I made 2 years ago and I'm like, why the hell did I grammar like this? Learn how to capitalize, you fool.
I think that's something
Definitely
that
not
you'll
talking
like.
about abstract.
Oh, definitely not.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna play it and judge the grammar so hard.
God.
No, I think that's something that's impossible to escape for like any like creative types. Like looking back at something and being like unhappy, or like, oh, I could have made it a little bit better. Like the perfectionist of it, but that's also like what drives improvement too. So it's kind of nice to, rather than like reflect on any mistakes made in the past, just moving forward and being like, I learned so much from that and getting better and better. But it's also sometimes it's kind of like fun and endearing to go back and play old stuff. Like I did a replay of one of my older games, and I was like, this is so weird. Like, I remember where I was when I made this, and look at all these dumb mistakes, but it's also, like, endearing in a way.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's very weird. I've, like, gone back and played, like, sometimes I try to sit down, I'm like, I'm gonna play every game I made in the past. I never finish them, because it's a lot of games.
You're like, yeah, this game's boring. Who made this? What the heck? What were they thinking?
What do you mean? What do you mean it was me?
Well, especially like
I was the trash dev.
Yeah, I'm gonna DM this dev and give him a piece of my mind. Just like go and point at a mirror. What were you thinking?
Well, especially like the minimum that some of the games are 2 hours. There's none that are less than 2 hours, I think. And
I've been such a fan of shorter games lately for that very reason, because it's hard to like soldier through like any like 2 hour plus like 10-hour fan game.
I have some bad news for Abstract and Berserk, my friend. Berserk is not as long. Berserk, I think, is like 8 hours?
It's closer to like something like that.
Like 8?
Okay.
Abstract, that, like, I think... How long did it take Crimson to play it? I want to say I've seen playthroughs go up to 20 hours. But, like, at minimum 10, if you're quick about it.
That's pretty good bang for the buck in terms of, like, development time, where, like, if you develop this in a month, but you get, like, 20 hours of game out of it, like, that's pretty damn good, like, the efficiency ratio there.
Yeah, like, we literally... How we devised things up in our team is, like, we had someone on our team just doing, like... the battles, maps, and like all that stuff. And so that's all they focused on. I was in charge of all the indoor maps. Oh yeah, Thundaga, which you like doing better, indoor maps or outdoor maps?
Ooh, also a good question. I I think I prefer doing outdoor maps. I love doing routes. One of my favorite things that I did on Pokemon Bushido was like make a lot of these like routes and maps and having them like all connected and flowing together and kind of like a vision for the world. I actually almost dread doing indoor maps. It's like, fun being like, and here's a house, and here's the lab, and I'm like, oh crap, what are they gonna look like inside? Oh no, and I gotta worry about that. But it's fun just placing it and being like, ooh, just imagine what's in this house.
Damn, so you're an enemy is what I'm hearing.
Yes. I'm one of those dirty outdoor mappers.
Yeah. I mean, that's the public feeling I'm... Like, every time I tell people, like, oh, I really like doing indoor maps, they're always like, what is wrong with you?
I mean, it sounds like we need to join forces then, where it's like, all right, if you love doing indoor maps, you handle those. I love doing outdoor maps, I'll handle those, and then we'll each do the thing that we like the most.
Exactly. Usually that's what I do on projects. I'm like, you do the outdoor maps, I'll do the indoor maps, and then everyone's happy. In fact, I'm making some indoor maps right now because I am so behind on the Jam project. I'm just making houses.
Good luck on those.
Thank you.
Damn, we have a special guest, and you're not going to give him your full attention.
I'm talking. I'm talking. I usually do get my full attention. It's just we are really behind on the game.
No, you're jamming right now.
Exactly.
What you should do is place an event on that map that's like a secret that only people who listen to this would find it, like a reference or something, like a little hint. Like I made this map while I was recording a podcast.
Okay, if you go on the bottom left plant of a house in Regal Wood City, you will find that Easter egg.
Okay. I will be checking the bottom left plant in Regalwood City.
There are many houses, but I mean, there's only 5, so you would only have to check 5 houses.
Nice.
Or should I just put it in every house in Regalwood City?
No, a secret one. There's only one.
Yeah, it has. Yeah,
Okay.
just one.
Just one?
Special that way. Nice. What, can you give any spoilers about what the Game Jam project will be? Any hints?
I can give a hint to the name, because people don't even know the name of the project yet, except for, like, the judge who played it. Let me look up the hint that I want to give.
Ooh,
Because,
okay.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
The Bohemian Rhapsody game. Pokemon Queen, and then it's like you have to fight Freddie Mercury. Or just Pokemon Mercury.
No,
Okay,
but
okay.
for what the game's about, I guess I feel like it's a pretty story-driven game, but for the most part, like how we're like dealing with like playing, like making the game is mostly just like fucking around. Pardon my language.
That's how you get a good game, though.
Yeah, we're mostly
Because if
just
you're
like
having
messing
fun, then
around.
the game will be fun.
Yeah. But like the story is mostly about like, I guess how you only see your life through your point of view, and it's hard to see like people around you and the actions you do affecting other people.
Okay.
Kind of like protagonist syndrome.
Oh yeah, that's a good theme. I think, especially like nowadays more than ever. On a completely unrelated note, did you guys see the Minecraft movie and Scream Chicken Jockey?
You missed my presentation last episode, Thundaga. I had a whole
God.
slideshow.
Oh man. That like speaking about like main character syndrome and not thinking about like how your actions apply to others at all. I read a comment about how somebody had like a Chipotle chicken burrito bowl thrown at them in the movie theater, and it's like you're just trying to sit down and watch a movie, man. I just want to see Jack Black.
So I sat in the front row, which was an interesting viewing experience, let me tell you, because I literally was at like almost a 90-degree angle from the screen.
I'm gonna like break your neck backwards just to go up and see it.
Exactly. So, but because of that, I didn't see like if anyone like threw popcorn behind me. I did look around the theater though after like watching it, which also I work in a movie theater right now, so pray for me.
Oh God, good luck.
Thank you.
Is this like the craziest time that it's been, or
That I've worked in a movie theater, yes.
Okay, I believe it. It seems like it's about as bad as it gets. I can't think of like any other instance of like any movie theater job being worse than having to clean up after people throwing popcorn and bringing live chickens into a movie theater.
Yeah, the live chicken is crazy.
That is insane. I still haven't seen the movie. I've been like not wanting to go into theaters.
Yeah. I
thankfully had a special secret screening.
Ooh.
So I didn't have to worry about the
money going into their
theater
pockets.
experience.
Also that. Yeah, since I work at a theater, I was able to get my
I
ticket
wasn't gonna
free.
word it like that. But
You got to review some like behind the scenes footage, a little early look.
the pre CGI, like the version without all of the polished CGI. Actually, it was
Pretty good.
it was a trip. Seeing some of the spots where like you see the rough outline of, okay, this is what they're supposed to do for the CGI.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there yet, but I see what you're supposed to do.
Some places will intentionally show movies like that for like focus groups, and I've done that a couple times. I went to a movie theater a few times with my girlfriend, and they give you like a $30 gift card, and you just go in and you watch this movie, and it is like the pre-viz version of it. Or, I mean, a lot of times it's like 99% of the way done, but it's kind of fun, like seeing a movie that will be in theaters in like 6 months, and you just sit down and watch a whole movie for free, and they even pay you. And at the end, you just fill out some questions on the tablet where it's like, oh, what would you rate this movie out of 10? Did you like this person's performance? What would you say?
I would love to do that.
It's really cool. Like, there's one near me in LA, and I get emailed about them a lot now. It was like private movie something, but yeah, preview free movies. They'll just email you and be like,
That
hey,
sounds like a
come watch this
scam.
movie? It doesn't seem legit. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem legit, but then you show up at a movie theater and there's this like long line on the side, and they're like, oh, did you sign up for the free movie thing? I'm like, yeah. All right, here you go. Watch it without the... I bet you they did that for Minecraft. That's probably where any sort of early preview look would have came from.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Like, hey, watch it in the theater. What'd you think of Jack Black's performance? Rated out of 10.
2.
What'd you think of the creeper?
Yeah, I mean, a Minecraft movie, I saw it, but since I work in a theater, I can see it for free. I get free movie
Nice.
tickets, which, thank God, I do not want to, like, give money to, like, promoting studios to make movies like that, because I don't like it as a movie, I like it as an experience. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. One thing that blew my mind was that the director of the Minecraft movie also did Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho
Yeah.
Libre. Like, that's kind of crazy. I love quoting Nacho Libre all the time. It's weird that that's
Hell
Jack
yeah.
Black in that also.
Mm-hmm. Well, because...
But otherwise, I'm not a good movie guy. I'm not big on movies otherwise.
It's fine.
Yeah, I want to go into the, like, film industry as an adult.
Nice.
So, that's why especially I'm like, ugh, I do not like a Minecraft movie's existence. Why is this making money?
Yeah, and it's like the first thing that like Warner Bros has done in a while that's actually like turned a profit.
Barbie.
Oh, that one also. Yeah.
I forgot that was Warner Bros.
No, they've Warner Brothers is such an interesting movie company because like they will on the one hand release like wildly popular movies, let really creative people make really like creative good things, and then they turn around and make one of the biggest like steaming pieces of just crap you have ever seen in like the same year.
The peaks and valleys are
Sounds
interesting,
about
I guess.
Yeah.
You gotta they call it like the shotgun approach, right? Where it's like you just fire out a whole bunch of stuff and then maybe one thing will be good.
Yeah. The Batman was also really good, but that came out in 2022, but that's still somewhat
Yeah.
recent.
Yeah, I like that one. I remember though, like, spoilers right here. We've all seen The Batman, and we can talk about like one of the twists in the movie. If you haven't watched The Batman, skip past this. There was one part where they were like URL Rata, and it's like, no, actually, that's incorrect Spanish. It should be like La Rata. I don't know, like not URL. Oh, it's actually it's a website because of URL. I was like, oh, that's really silly. I hate that.
That's fair. I don't know, I really like the vibe of the movie, and like the cinematography especially. I mean, it just visually looked amazing.
I recently started like watching some of the older Twilight movies with my girlfriend, and I had never seen them. And you know, Robert Pattinson, you know, he was the Batman, but before he was a vampire guy. I don't know, like I want to see that new one that he's in, also Mickey 17. I heard that was decent.
Yeah.
The director for that did Parasite, and Parasite was really good. I like that one. I recommend that. But yeah, movies. I say I'm not a good big at watching movies, but then I'm like, oh, I just watched a ton of movies.
Yeah, even though I can watch movies for free, I feel like I don't do it that much because I still have to, like, even though I don't have a money investment anymore in the movies, which makes it, you know, a lot easier to be like, oh yeah, I'll go see that. Like, there's still the, like, taking time out of your day to, like, drive out and sit down for, like, 2 hours.
Yeah, even if it's like a free ticket, there's still a cost there in terms of like the time and energy.
Exactly.
How does that work? Like, do they give you just like a couple free tickets like a month, or you just walk right
No,
in?
you can literally watch any. Well, so some studios won't let you do it for like big movies when they are first released for like the first week. Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't think you could get a free ticket for like a week, and some other movies like that.
Okay.
But no, I mean, generally, like, if you work at least in the movie theater chain I'm in, any movie at any time, you get one free ticket.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. It's a
You can't
really
take
good
your
perk.
girlfriend or anything, huh?
Oh, yeah, no, they would have to pay. It's like,
Dang.
oh, do you
Like,
want to
hey,
go
I
see
get
movies?
in.
Yeah. Well, you also
I'll
get
see you guys
50%.
in there.
You do get 50% off concessions, so normally when I go with a group of people, is because I get my tickets free, I buy the concessions.
That's cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get some
Because I get
popcorn.
50% off. Exactly. And then also...
You only pay an arm instead of an arm and a leg.
Exactly. No, literally, I will sometimes be at the concession stand and look at the poor order form. Like, I've seen a couple orders, just of food, no tickets, go into hundreds of dollars.
Sheesh. That's wild.
And I'm just like, oh, your poor bank account. But mostly it's, I'm like, they just order too much. It's not like they order a large popcorn and 2 large drinks, and it's like, oh, $100 is your total. Like, no.
That's what
Yeah.
it feels like half the time.
Fair enough.
Believe it.
I guess since we're on the movie topic, I feel like we've taken a big detour from Pokemon fan games, but that's just our podcast 99% of the time. Is there like
Yeah, go where the
fine.
convo flows.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the like the last third of the podcast where it's like,
Yeah.
It's a
Just
chill
kinda-
zone.
Exactly. Is there any movie coming out that you're looking forward to?
Good question. Right now, I can't think of too many. I oftentimes like I'm only excited about movies either because my girlfriend wants to go see it, or because like an actor or actress that I like is in it, or I don't know. Let's see. Right off the top of my head though, I can't think of any that really interests me. Maybe there's a sequel to Megan that seems decent. That was like the horror movie with like the AI girl. I watched that one last year, and I'm so bad at horror movies, so like around Halloween it was like, all right, we're watching some of the old classics. We're watching like, you know, Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, stuff like that. And then we watched Megan, so maybe that, but otherwise I don't know. Everything else is kind of like, I'm gonna sound like so pretentious, but I'm like, oh, it's all derivative, it's all sequels.
There's some that I'm
mean-
looking forward to that aren't like one original, and what's even weirder, it's an original superhero movie coming out in like a couple of weeks, which is almost an oxymoron. Is Thunderbolts,
Okay, that's the Marvel one. Yeah.
which is the only Marvel movie I'm looking forward to this year. Fantastic Four, the recent trailer that came out today has a bit more of my attention than the first one, but I'm still not like jumping up and down to watch it, I guess. We'll see when it comes out, how I feel.
Yeah.
But like with Thunderbolts, like from what I understand, it seems like a fun watch. seems really well made, and it also deals with like mental health, from what I understand.
Okay. Nice.
Hesitantly optimistic.
And it also just has like a really lot of cool characters and actors that I'm looking forward to. And just like some really good people involved making it. Like, you guys have heard of Everything Everywhere All at Once, right?
Yes, I still haven't watched it though.
The people who made the soundtrack for that are doing the soundtrack for Thunderbolts. What else? They made a whole ad just about the people who are involved making it.
Alright, I have my answer now, actually. I know the one movie that I'm interested in. Shrek 5.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes.
Let's go!
We got...
Hopefully it doesn't suck.
I forgot there was a Shrek 4. I haven't watched it yet.
It's better than you'd expect, but not as good as the first two. Like, the third one sucks, and then the fourth one is better than the third one. But,
okay.
Yeah, I watched it recently.
Good to know.
I was hanging out with my sister, and we were like, Shrek 4, we don't remember how it goes. So we just watched that.
May have been good if you didn't remember.
Yeah.
You probably regret watching it again. But...
Yeah.
No, the movie I'm most looking forward to this year, which, if you've been watching the podcast, surprises absolutely nobody. Ethan's gonna roll his eyes. Superman.
Oh.
I'm not gonna roll my eyes on that one because I'm not gonna say I've seen the light, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, superhero movies in general are just going to be popular.
Yeah. Well, the weird part...
I'm not the biggest DC movie or DC superhero fan. That's the word.
Crazy.
But I
feel sorry for your loss.
Optimistic and hopeful.
I am also optimistic, but like...
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't suck, but yeah, we'll see.
Mainly why I'm looking forward to it is because if... the only reason why I'm looking forward to it is Superman, I feel like, in the public conscious nowadays, is such a clowned-on character, and, like, not... It's just common for people to not like it.
Yeah, a lot of times it's like, oh, he's invincible and he can fly, like, oh, what drama, you know? Yeah. But I guess there's other stuff, like he has got to protect people.
And that's why, like, I'm looking forward to it just because I want people to be proven wrong and for people to like it. Almost. Because if Superman was a popular character, I think I would not care about this movie, but it's the fact that he's not that, like, makes me more intrigued. And also, like, in my lifetime, there's never been, like, an actually good Superman franchise. Sorry, Henry Cavill fans.
Yeah, it's funny, previously I would talk about, like, DC movies with some of my coworkers, and one of them was like, hey man, like, I actually kind of like Batman versus Superman, you know, don't judge me. And I was like, well, I'm gonna judge you a little bit, sorry man, I gotta
Yeah, I don't...
I saw that one in theaters and couldn't tell you anything about it except for
oh yeah, I remember that story.
What his chapstick tasted like.
Wasn't there a bit where it's like, why'd you say that name, Maria, or something?
No, it was Martha.
Martha. Okay, I'm thinking about Shadow the Hedgehog. That was my problem.
Yeah, no, different character.
I saw I saw Sonic 3 with my family, or it was me, my brother, and my sister, and my sister's boyfriend, and I had like a couple beers, and then my sister was like sitting down next to me, and she was like, "Can you explain like the lore about like Maria to me?" And I was like, "Okay, so here's how it goes." And I felt like such a goofball sitting there in the movie theater talking about like Sonic lore. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was a good time. But yeah, movies, and video games. Are you?
Yeah.
Do you have any upcoming video games that you're interested in playing? Like, is there anything like? I know the new Switch. It's like going to be hard to get, but is there anything else that's like coming up on your radar?
The next chapter of Project Eden's Garden is in development. I don't know when it's coming out, but
okay.
Other than that, I'm not a big gamer, honestly. Like, I don't think there's any games that I'm really looking forward to.
You know, that might honestly be for the best. Time spent playing other games is time spent not doing other stuff. Like, I played so much League of Legends in college. I'm like, damn, if I wish I was instead working on anything else.
No, instead I just waste a bunch of time, like, watching stuff. So I don't know which is better.
No, it's not a waste. You're just recharging the creative battery, and you have a larger repertoire of reference material now.
There you go.
Yeah, like, I'm not sitting on my ass watching movies for 12 hours a day. I'm
Oh,
collecting creative inspiration.
Exactly.
No,
No,
that is for the best though.
Honestly, with like, even though I want to go into movies, I feel like movies isn't my favorite type of media. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I think I agree. I do prefer the like element of control and choice that comes to like a video game, but there is like a kind of blending in when you do like visual novels, or even like that they did that, what was it, Bandersnatch on Netflix, the like kind of like choosing the paths of the movie.
Oh yeah,
like,
Netflix did that for a while.
I forgot they did that.
I think
It's
Netflix
kinda cool
forgot
having
they did that.
Yeah, probably. Maybe that's the element that would be a little bit more enticing. Like, ooh, if I could like have player choice, but also have it be like more cinematography in that.
Well, especially because for me, why it's not as like, it's not like video games. I think is like I like better as a medium. It's what is it, like TV shows? I sometimes enjoy watching more.
Okay.
Because like movies, there's like, for me, I don't know if there's like one that's better than the other, because it depends on the story you're trying to tell. Some stories are better for TV shows, some are better for video games, some are better for movies, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite TV show?
I have a favorite anime.
Okay.
Anime TV show. It's right now it's probably Oshinoko.
Okay, let's see. I gotta look that up. I feel like I used to watch a ton of anime in like high school, but now I'm like out of the loop. I was like
That'll
into
probably
watching
be
like
me eventually.
Yep. I was into watching, you know, like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z and stuff.
Well, especially
Okay.
why like Oshinoko is interesting to me is like it's definitely a show about like the entertainment industry. I don't know how to pitch it. How would you pitch it, Ethy?
No, I think that's a good way of kind of introducing it. Is it's a show about these twins that were born from this Japanese idol, and it's got a good mystery to it that I still wish was explored just a little bit more, but that's my preference because I really love a good mystery.
Yeah.
Okay. I like a good mystery.
Trying to think of what else to really say about it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like
'Cause it does
Oshinoko.
delve into a lot of that with the entertainment industry, like you say.
Yeah. Like, for me, Oshinoko, like, why I enjoy it is it just reflects a lot of, like, stuff that I like in writing, I guess. Especially, like, especially what they do near the end of Season 2, I'm not gonna spoil it. But just, like, how you, like, contrastingly have different, like, two different characters that, like, start off in one way, but then like develop and then go almost like the opposite ways, and then act like each how the other one did, I guess.
Okay. So kind of like the themes and how they choose to express them or like explore them like within the show.
Yeah. Well, just like I really like that. Like multiple people like that. I don't know how else to describe it other than I did, so I'm just not gonna try. And another thing that I really enjoy lately is not just, like, the story developing, but almost the tone developing.
Okay. I can
And
see
changing.
that. Yeah.
Like, I really
makes
like
sense.
that, especially because it makes something more engaging, where if, like, something is the same tone throughout, it kind of becomes white noise after a while for me.
Yeah, kind of like one note.
Yeah, that's my main problem with like Christopher Nolan films.
Just very serious.
Yeah.
One of my main problems is like the sound mixing. It's like, what did he say? Turn on the subtitles. Like when Bane talks in Batman, they're like, huh?
Yeah, I was not a big fan of the Nolan Batman films. I don't know. Just not my time, I guess.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Kind of gritty.
Yeah.
Okay. It's funny.
And I always tell.
Oh no, you go. I've been cutting off.
No, I was about to start a new, like, talk about my favorite show.
Yeah. No, say it. Because I was just gonna make a dumb joke about like Family Guy.
I was going to say it's I am a lover of shitty sitcoms. So I always like
I can respect
I
that.
can still watch Parks and Recreation. Parks like that is like at least 1/5 of my personality is Parks and Recreation.
Hell yeah. It's like Parks and Rec plus like The Office plus like that was like a whole like the zeitgeist at the time. Everyone
Yeah.
I have that amongst a lot of my friends, like people referencing those and like 30 Rock and other shows. For me and my brother and my sister, we quote a lot of like early Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like season 3, 4, and 5, like around there. Like
Yeah.
that's a good one.
They had a lot of really good quotes in those shows. That show.
And it's interesting too when the TV show is exploring like one concept per episode as opposed to like telling a long story. Do you guys find that you prefer like kind of like more episodic content as opposed to like serialized content where there's like a longer story to tell?
I guess it depends on the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that feels like a cop-out answer, but I mean, I feel like it really does just depend.
Because I still think like one of my favorite like animated, I mean it's not necessarily anime per se, but like the original Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Yeah.
I friggin' love
Oh
that.
yes.
And that's one where like they're still doing like one story a week, but like it's still building towards something, so you kind of get a little bit of both.
Yeah, that's my favorite is when it's a little bit of both, where it's like that slow progression of like we just had fun today and the journey is continuing.
Oh, and that perfectly ties back to Pokemon fan games. If we want to wrap it up with a nice little bow, it is nice when a story is told in a fan game that has both like individual moments, but then also is building towards something greater in the background, where then that's like the finale. It's building to a crescendo, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one last question for like fan games is because I feel like from getting to know people in the community, I feel like I can get a good sense of someone as a person from playing their game like before talking to them. Do you feel that same way, Thundaga?
100%. Yeah, I think you can kind of gauge somebody's not only like their outlook on like the world and on life, or just like about how people interact and stuff. I don't know, like there's that creator's voice, and I definitely feel like sometimes they are speaking through their games, and sometimes I've done that as well, where like characters talk in a way that I would talk, or respond to something in a way that I would respond, and sometimes I go back and play it and I'm like, oh, I totally know 100% like what I was thinking of here. And it's kind of surreal. Then you go and you talk to somebody about their game and you're like, oh, you're a real person. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But that is a good question. I've played a lot of different fan games where like, yeah, especially if like you've played a game from the same person before, you play that again, or you play another game from them and you find like the similarities.
But I don't know about you, I try and like not do that as much as possible, because I don't know, I feel like writing something that has too many similarities just comes off as like looking like a bad writer, I guess. I don't know how else to put it.
No, that's fair. Because like if you lean into the same themes every single time, or you do everything the exact same way, then it can kind of get like, not like cliche, but like played out. And it's like, it's good to recognize when it's happening and try to avoid it, but sometimes it's also hard.
Yeah.
It's like this ongoing battle of writing, and I say that as a bad writer. Like, here's what you do if you want to write really poorly. Just follow my tips.
Yeah, especially like for me, it took me so long to be able to like write characters that had different distinct voices from each other, because most of the time I would just write them with like my voice. Like, it just took me so long to like be able to know how to do that.
I think one thing that helps a lot is like each character having a very obvious motivation, and then that kind of coming through in how they respond to any sort of circumstances. And once again, I say that as a very bad writer, but like if it's very obvious what a character wants, and they make it known what they want, and you know something happens, then you could have a very like clear reaction to that. Like, I don't know, like there's the motivations and stuff, and then in terms of writing, another thing that I'm a big fan of is there was like a South Park thing where they talked about how a story should always be like, this happens, therefore this happens, therefore this happens, but this happens. Like, every story chunk should always be like therefore or but, instead of just this happens and then this happens. Otherwise, like, there's no cause and effect. So like character motivations and like the cause and effect of it all, like, it all needs to work together. Otherwise, like, it's just kind of a loose string of events.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Let's see. Not too much else. We talked about some good fan games. Talked about some movies. Yeah, I don't know. What about y'all?
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, neither can I.
Well, if you ever want to reach out again, let me know. I'm always down. Yeah, if you ever want to, if you ever want some tea on the video game industry and you want me to shit on some people, just let me know. I got you.
Okay, that's good to know.
If you ever want to talk shit about Bungie, let's talk shit about Bungie.
Yes.
Bungie.
I'd be down.
Bungie.
What's Bungie?
I have a one of their big games is like Destiny 2.
Oh, I know Destiny 2, yeah.
Yeah, they did Halo, now they're doing Marathon. I think they might be doing some like closed like beta tests now for that. So I think people are gonna start getting their hands on Marathon real soon. I don't know if that game's gonna do well. I don't know. We'll see. I applied to Bungie like a week ago. We'll see what happens. They haven't gotten back to me yet. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make them not suck.
I have a vendetta against Bungie because they let go of one of my friends that did a lot of hard work for Destiny 2.
That sucks.
I think she's still credited. I don't remember.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I haven't looked at the credits.
Hopefully.
I'm crossing all my fingers. I feel like unfortunately, like the game industry has a tendency to like be like, all right, work your ass off. We'll chew you up. Okay, the work's done. All right, we spit you out. Get out of here.
Yep.
Well,
That's
I
what's
guess
nice about like having your own projects, like for fan games. It's like, I'm in control of this. I say what happens. I'm gonna lay myself off. You can't fire me. I quit.
I guess, like, as someone who is now in the, like, video game industry, I feel like we haven't talked enough about that.
Oh, yeah. I actually got my opportunity to be a game designer because of Pokemon Bushido, funnily enough.
Oh.
I want to make a whole video about that, but they were looking to hire some, like, to fill a design role at the company. And I was a QA tester, and I was programming testing tools and, you know, doing, like, general testing stuff at the time. And they were like, hey, Cameron, we went to your stream. We saw you were making a Pokemon game. You do game design? I was like, yes, I do. So then they're like, oh, do you want an opportunity? And I was like, hell yeah, I do. Like, the pay was better, and it was like a step up the ladder. So the rest is history. But yeah, it was all because of Pokemon Bushido that I went from a QA tester to a designer.
I mean, is there anything about, like being in the video game industry, is it like how you thought it would be like? Is there any regrets going into this field, or are you generally happy?
Yeah, not a lot of regrets. I guess we'll see in the future if I have regrets, just because it's like, we're replacing everyone with AI. We don't need programmers anymore. We don't need game designers anymore. But right now, I don't have too many regrets because I love playing games and I love like sharing those games and experiences with people. But I will say I've kind of found Pokemon fan game work to be almost like more like soul fulfilling. Like, I get more personal feedback and responses. Like, I still like a lot of the game industry work, and everybody that I've worked with has, for the most part, been extremely cool, like friends for life. But you don't get to control where the ship is steering so much, and I found it to be very fulfilling to have a hand on the steering wheel as opposed to just like being on board and then watching the ship head straight into an iceberg.
For me, since I'm still like in high school, like working on any like film project, like whenever I try to, I feel like I just never. Making a film project is so much harder for me than video game, because not only do you, like, video game, as long as you have, like, a cool concept and, like, maybe some good writing, people can, like, fill in the gaps to, like, make it cool in their minds, almost, for writing it out. In filming, you have to be the one to fill in those gaps. You have to, like, find talented people who do not suck at acting, first of all, which... pretty hard when you're still in high school. Yeah, especially high school. But like finding some people, having them understand what you had in mind vision-wise, and be able to like put that into words and explain it to people, which is always really hard for me, because like a lot of times like I understand it in my head, but like when I'm standing in front of someone who is waiting for me to explain how they're supposed to act, I'm just like,
Yeah, that's hard. Like the conveying of it, you'd almost need like a storyboard or something. Be like, here's the visualize. But even then, like bringing that vision to life, on the screen has to be tricky. I used to love doing video editing projects, like for like some video classes in high school. I had a lot of fun doing the video editing for that.
Oh, I love video editing. Like, I may honestly, instead of going into like directing, just go into like video editing. I've been thinking about that lately.
Hell yeah. Would that be like one of your favorite like areas when it comes to film?
That and writing.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, especially video editing, I enjoy more because you can do that in the safe confines of like the indoors, where like actually filming, you have to deal with some pretty harsh environments of nature.
Especially like if you're writing a story that takes place like deep in the forest.
Or the Arctic.
Oh gosh. Like, actually, no, this story takes place in my house.
Yeah. Well, but most of the time...
It's a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a story about a guy who sleeps in his bed and is comfy.
Yeah, normally that doesn't turn out too good, though. It's usually pretty boring. But no, like, even recently... Like, I'm working on a film project, and I went, okay, so we're gonna go down to the river, and you're gonna lay in the river, and hopefully you're not gonna drown. That was a fun filming day.
Oh gosh. I worked on a video project for one of my friends in high school, and the whole point was it's about a guy who plays this zombie video game, and then he starts like going a little crazy, and he starts seeing like everybody else's zombies. And we had people like put on like full-on zombie like makeup and everything, and there was a really great shot that was really fun to film where somebody was driving in their car and just like going, maybe like 5 miles, 10 miles per hour, like rolling down the street. And I'm like running behind the car, and they're like filming me running, and then there's like all of his friends in zombie makeup like running after me. And I found it fun, almost like acting in somebody else's movie, like when they had a vision. But then I went and rewatched I watched the final project, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good.
Oh.
But we were so... Oh man, wait, one more thing, I'm sorry. We were such like shitty high schoolers. You know how like everybody's like injecting like fart jokes and like poop jokes into like every video that they do. We had a friend who was named, in the film he was named Michael, and then there was just one, or we called him Mike, and then we had one bit at the very end where somebody called my phone. It was like, oh, Mike's calling me. And then it shows, and it says his name is M.Hawk, so his last name is Hawk. And then we didn't even explain it. We're like, oh, it's Mike.
Oh
And
god.
then, yeah, friggin' high schoolers.
Yeah, that sounds like a high school joke. Well, especially like film projects, I feel like are more stressful with like. I feel like because normally there are more people involved than like any game I've been like a part of making. Like because jam game projects are a maximum of 4 people. Film projects usually more than that, and like people normally are like put almost more time commitment sometimes depending on the project. And I
Yeah.
just feel like more of a pressure, especially because, well, especially with film, you see them face to face a lot. And just like a pressure of like, oh, I hope this is good because I don't want to like disappoint them.
Yeah. I think like larger projects and like the bigger the ship gets, the more stressful it is, and like the harder it gets to turn that ship as well. So it's fun working on smaller projects where you can be a little bit more agile and kind of weave around issues or correct issues a little bit faster. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bureaucracy like in a lot of industries, including the game industry, where let's say there's a bug and you're like, okay, I would love if we could make this change to fix this issue, but then that turns into, well, it's like you got to get approval. You can't just make that change without like the design like higher ups knowing about that, because otherwise it's like you're shooting from the hip, and that's really uncool to like you make the change on your own. So like you kind of like got to go up the chain and then back down the chain. I mean, which is good for organization, but at the same time it makes things a little bit less like agile. So it is fun working on smaller agile projects like game jams and stuff too, where it's like the deadline is in a month and we're just gonna get what we get. We're not working on this for 5 years.
Well, also because I feel like, oh, there was one cool film project I did last summer. There was this one shot. It was really fun to come up with how to do it. It was basically the whole premise was it was this one girl who was like running late for her date, but like she did the most like ridiculous like I don't know, almost like action run sequence trying to make it to the date. She jumped on top of cars. She ended up just bleeding at the end of it, and then she finally shows up to her date. But and then she figures out because of her crazy journey, like her date ends up not showing up because of the mess that she caused.
Oh, that's funny. He got stuck in traffic, or she stepped on his car.
Yeah. But what was fun about like the shot of her like jumping on the car, because obviously we couldn't film her actually jumping on top of cars. We got someone's car, it had a sunroof, so we opened up the trunk, put the camera like laying on top, like in the trunk, and then we like whipped up and we just had like a shoe placed on top of the sunroof and then off, and then we had another shot, we just had the person like a little bit left of the car, and then we just see her like falling in front of the car.
Okay, that's kind of cool. The movie magic.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Did you ever do any like stop motion video projects? Like stop motion is pretty fun, but also super time consuming.
When I was younger, yes, but only technically.
Oh, okay.
It was like the most non-fluent stop motion you've ever seen. It was like maybe 1 frame per minute.
Dang, okay.
Obviously exaggerated, but you get the point.
It's pretty good. It's like Nightmare Before Christmas, basically.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that will be it for today, unless anyone wants to say anything else.
I think I'm doing good. Thank you guys for inviting me. It was fun just chilling, hanging out, shooting the shit, talking about a lot of different stuff. I like it.
Yeah, no, definitely thank you
been
for
fun.
like, coming on board to the podcast, because it was very fun having you.
Hell yeah. Anytime, man. Anytime.
And Ethan, you finally was able to be in a guest episode, because we've had, how many guest
Yeah.
episodes have we had at this point? And you've never been in a single one.
No, I've been in one, and the people in the comment section can remember exactly which one it is. That's how we're gonna form a little bit of an engagement.
Hey.
I remember
There
which
was
one.
one.
I remember now.
There was one.
Technically, you were in one, you're correct. But not
Hell
properly.
yeah. And the first person to comment and get it right wins $100. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
That was a joke.
No.
Wish.
I don't got that cash.
Wish we had that kind of.
They
I was
get-
about to say, I wish we had that kind of money.
They get to go to a movie and get 50% off their popcorn if they get the comment right.
Only if you live in my area, though, because I'm not driving to you.
Yeah, if they drive to your area, then they'll get 50% off, and then you can go throw popcorn at Chicken Jockey and have a great time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay,
Hell
so
yeah.
I think
Well, hopefully the second guest episode that you were on was a chill one.
Oh, this has been so much fun.
oh yeah,
Hell yeah. I'm glad.
I know it was a lot of fun having you. If you guys
Thank you very much.
you guys haven't seen Thundaga's channel, his link will be in the description. He does a lot of cool things. He's been streaming some recently, so who knows? Maybe he'll be streaming by the time you're watching this.
Yes, please.
Maybe.
Yeah, I have a link tree I can give you that's got like my YouTube and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, you can find me all there. You can find me in the video description, and yeah, if you click on that link, I would be very appreciated. Thank you very much.
So yeah, we will see you all next week with. Oh god, next week's gonna be the episode of going over all the insert name jam entries that get posted, most likely. Oh no, because
yeah.
it won't be.
Yeah.
We'll be recording it Thursday, so we'll be recording it the day before they're posted. Damn, that
Oh, that's
sucks.
going to be a stressful time for you, man. You're going to be like pushing that game over the finish line. Best of luck to you on your
Yeah.
project.
Yeah. Good luck with
Yeah.
Avarice too.
Hey, thank you very much. I
Yeah,
appreciate
I
it.
hope-
And don't forget, you got to click on the tree in the bottom left of the house in the town. Okay, that's where the secret is hidden.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'll put something in the bottom left of mine as well, so we got that.
Awesome. All right. So we will see you all next week. And yeah, goodbye.
Right on. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you for having me. Have a good one, y'all.